YouTube, Steve here, and welcome to the Inebriate Murse. Sit down, pour yourself a beverage of your choice, and I hope you enjoy the story that I'm about to share with you. So one of the strangest experiences I ever had as a new nurse was being introduced to the concept of auto-amputation. If you don't know what that is, basically it's when a person loses a piece of their body spontaneously just due to some type of pathology. When I was a nursing student, my very first day of clinical, I had a comfort care patient who was you know, non-compliant, untreated, basically diabetic, and he was in the process of gradually losing his feet. Well, my instructor wanted me to see what this looked like firsthand and just kind of prepare us what nursing was going to give us. And we go to see this patient, she and I, and she pulls the covers back over the feet of the bed. And when she did, my patient's big toe fell off, just fell the F off right there in the middle of the bed. And I remember she and I both looked at each other with this just panicked look, and really didn't know how to react to it. And so we step out of the room, and I'm expecting her to brief me in some fashion about it. And she just kind of walks down the hall, and we never spoke of it again. Really didn't know how to, how to deal with that, whether it was something I could still continue to process. Months later, or years later, actually, when I was a relatively new RN, I had a patient on the urology floor that I worked on who was suffering from penile carcinoma, and that's about as horrible as it sounds. It's cancer of the penis, essentially. And so this patient basically wasn't being treated. He'd been lost to follow-up somehow, and it was in later stages. And so he had this chronic Foley catheter, and the urologist that was attending this patient wanted me to get the experience firsthand. And so he told me to go check this patient out. He goes, check out that catheter. Tell me what you think about it. And now I was not briefed ahead of time to this patient's condition. I just thought I was investigating this catheter. And so I go into the room, and I see this profound tumor. And I look, something's not quite right. And I'm kind of looking at the patient, and I realized that I could see daylight between the patient's penis and his body. And I realized that his penis had auto-amputated. And worse than that, it was sliding back and forth on the Foley catheter, so like some kind of bad news abacus. And I was just completely dumbfounded. I take off out of the room as quickly as I could safely and go to see the urologist. And I'm like, that guy's penis fell off. And he's like, what do you mean it fell off? I'm like, it fell off. It fell the F off. It's loose. It's floating on the catheter. And I'm panicking, and he's laughing. He's like, well, that does tend to happen. I kind of figured it was a matter of time. And I thought to myself, what sweet hell am I working in now? And I'm like, this isn't even right. I don't know if I went in the right line of work. And, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but it certainly is one of the creepiest. Not used to organs just falling off. Not the first time, not the last. Still something I just as soon not deal with. Needless to say, a little bit creepy. If you guys found this story amusing, or you just have a morbid curiosity and would like to hear what I come up with next, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Ring the notification bell if you want to be the first to know when new content drops. That kind of stuff really helps. Now, if you have a story of your own to share, you can email me at inebriatemurse@gmail.com. And until then, I'd like you to have a drink and laugh on me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.